Hello, everyone. How are we all tonight? I don't see anybody here yet, but hey, might as well say hello to the non existent persons. Let's see. How can we do something here? I don't know. Oh, yeah, we want to share this out. Hey, Metal. How are you? Oh, did you get my one message on what's the name of it? Discord. How is the Canadian Shield thing coming? Cover. I probably missed it. Okay, going into the on air browser. Somebody in here sent start visual camera there. Okay, so we got a few characters here that we haven't finished. So mainly coloring this Bomb Devil, Jojo. Well, not Jojo himself, but Jodio. I have no idea how to put it. Oh, I had to take a break from working on that because I realized I haven't updated a new page in. Okay. Sailor Saturn, Magnum. You know what? We might finish up Magnum because we just got this little bit in here and her pole, her staff. So that shouldn't be too much. So it looks like that's area is supposed to be white. Hey Fizz. Chozo. How are you today? Oh, yeah, yeah. Okay, and the stuff was in here, right? Yeah. I still can't work on anything because my computer's still in the shop. It's getting very boring. Yeah. Well, you can write with pen and paper. I'm not sure whether you write anything out. Oh, looks like I missed some in there. Oh, and part of her hair here. Figure it all out. Do you know when you, Metal, do you know when you might be getting back to that? Gene Conway just died. Not that Rick even knows who that is. Well, the name sounds familiar. He might be related to another couple other Conways that I know of. Heard of. Let's see. Gene Conway. Oh, baseball player? Donald Eugene. Oh, that's Cole. It's not Conway. Oh, Marvel. Uh, Oh, I read that Gene. You said Jerry. You must have said Jerry. Yeah, you said Jerry, the creator of the Punisher. Oh, Jerry Conway is the creator of Punisher and Power Girl. Ah, alright, cool.
Hey, hey, hey.
Hey, yeah, I must have heard that name then before. Uh, how are you?
Well, I'm doing good. How are
Uh,
you?
pretty good. Did you hear my question before you got on?
I answered your question.
Well, you answered the one question. I was just asking any idea when you might be getting back to it?
Yeah, after I get this page done and upload it.
Okay.
Yeah. No, like unfortunately, or fortunately, whichever way you want to look at it, my website had been popping off lately. Um, got a lot of like traffic, and then I realized it's been like half a year since I uploaded a page, so I probably need to do that.
Yeah. Good. Well, I've up not uploaded, but
Well,
done
hi,
cha-
everybody. It's Fisher.
done changes recently too.
I'm
Hello,
not sure if you
Fitz.
hear me.
I
Yeah,
hear
we
you.
can hear you.
Oh, yeah. As the very first, not working on anything. at the moment. Like it's not. It's just they've been working on anything for like a week now.
Yeah, you were saying that in the chat. And hello, Tim. How are you, Tim?
Notice he also brought up the Jerry Conway thing,
Yeah.
or by thing I mean passing away. Very influential guy. He was
Yeah.
the directly responsible for the night Gwen Stacy died, which is probably still the most iconic thing he ever wrote.
Mm.
Yeah.
I don't get. I still don't get why. For a while they kept having Spider-Man save woman off that bridge because that story they just kept having that him go to that bridge.
Um, because a lot of comic fans are functionally grown children and aren't very stable, so it traumatized them, even though it was a really well written story that gave
Mm.
Peter really good motivation and life lessons.
Okay. Now, although Gwen Stacy's now primarily just known as a Spider-Man variant now, a Spider-Woman variant now.
Yeah, yeah. They call her Spider
Yeah.
Gwen. I think she ultimately took the name Ghost Spider, which was a different Spider-Man variant before that, but so unknown that it was okay for her to take it. But nobody calls her by her actual hero name. They just call her Spider Gwen.
Yeah, because that's how she was
Mm.
introduced. That's how she got known.
Just
I'd
like how
say,
nobody calls Miles Morales by his original variant name.
yeah. And hey,
Mm.
Mike.
It's just,
Yeah, because isn't he arachnoid or something? Arachnoid kid or something?
He was Kid Arachnid originally. You were close.
Yeah.
again, I don't.
There what got me to be remember that I created a character based off supposed
Hmm.
to be, although Spider-Man was a teenager, to go into my universe called the Arachnoid Kid or Arachnoid Kid.
Uh, I don't understand why you're right about that. Something like that, Rick. I mean, I mean,
Well,
so,
I created the idea of this character before Miles was around. You know,
well, no, because it's just Spider-Man. So I'm like,
yeah, well, I wasn't going to do Spider Man by himself. I was combining the Justice League and the Avengers, or some core members of both of them, just to put them as teenagers in my universe, uh, just to have them. I'm not sure what I would do with them exactly, but
mm, no, yeah,
Tim's like, I am
the thing.
very, what did you call us again? Adult children is what I called you.
No, but because the thing is, certain concepts are so played out that there's no reason to really write a story about that. For example, how
Well, if
many
you have
comic
that
book writers
attitude,
have
there's
wrote?
really no reason to write a story about anything.
No. Like for example, how many comic book writers have asked, what if Superman was evil?
yeah. Well, good for them. Uh, there is no
Do you know?
Spider-Man type character. Well, actually, maybe there is, but there's no Spider-Man type character or knockoff in Cross Comics. So just like DC and do not knockoffs of each other, I'm doing a knockoff of them.
Oh yeah, dude. DC and Marvel have been doing knockoffs of each other ever since they started competing directly with each other.
I know, I know. Like you have characters like what I forgot what's his name uh we got like the owl who's basically just a penguin.
Yeah, yeah. Or you have like Hyperion over on the other side, and
It was just evil Superman.
yeah.
The whole squad is supreme, really, just the evil version of Justice League.
I wouldn't say evil because when they originally created, they were not evil. They
But it's
were
about them trying to take over the world, and trying to become the world's government.
Yeah, I don't think that's how they were originally done. I could be wrong, but they were definitely rip-offs of thing. They were
I mean, they was
good
created
guy.
to fight the Avengers in one storyline. That's literally what it was created as. So
Yeah, well, just because they were fighting the Avengers doesn't necessarily make them bad guys. They were heroes from another world. So just means that they were fighting. Heroes fight each other all the time.
But we also have like DC. We have Red Lion, who is an African dictator dressed like a cat.
Yeah.
So
Well, that's
so
actually the
Trev is
funny
Black.
thing too, because I don't have a
So Trev
problem
is Black
with
Panther,
people
but he's
making
bad guy.
stories that are like, what if this hero from another thing was evil? If you make your own parody version, that's perfectly fine. But it is funny that like it's been done by the big companies long before anybody else tried it. And I'm still not against them doing it, but it's just like, yeah, your idea is original, and it's fine that it's not original. Just don't tout it as if it's original.
Now, why is it 90% of the time Superman? Like,
Because Superman is the most popular superhero ever. Superman is the
not really. I think
superhero.
Batman might be.
No,
Okay,
Superman's still more popular than Batman.
he's one. You can at least say he's one of the most popular ones ever because he's like top three. The three top, you know, superhero in popularity are Superman, Batman, and Spider Man.
I know no one tries to do an evil version of Spider-Man or anything like that.
I think it's been done. I can't remember where. Well,
Well, and also some people like.
Venom is
Well,
an
yeah,
evil version.
Venom doesn't count because Venom is something that's also native to Spider-Man.
Mhm.
It's not like somebody else is doing the evil Spider-Man.
Yeah, but DC has done their evil Superman too, as well.
So my defense on why you don't really see a bunch of evil Spider-Men is because of the nature of the type of people who write these stories. When they see Superman, they see like this flawless icon and it bothers them, right? All they see is a Boy Scout, even though that's not what Superman is. If you've read even enough old Superman comics, he is not a flawless hero,
I know,
right? But people see
especially
him
back
as
in the
one.
Silver Age. Back then, he was kind of a dick.
Yeah, but people see him as one. Like that, whether it's true or not, that's the impression they get of him. So they see this like marbled statue and they want to take it down. Well, when you look at Spider-Man, his reputation is that of like a younger, flawed hero who's kind of just like finding his footing at all times, right? Somebody who could succumb to letting a Venom suit go around and do heroics with him at night while he's asleep. Um, and then become like a jerk about it and break up with the suit because he doesn't like being controlled while he's asleep, which then causes a villain to be created
Yeah.
that wants
We
revenge
don't
on
know
him
the
for the rest of
backstory of him.
his.
Yeah.
You'd be surprised how many people. I know you guys know, absolutely, but somebody could be watching this later. There are a lot of people that, because of the way they've handled Venom since then, don't know the actual backstory to Venom.
Yeah.
They think it made Peter evil when it didn't.
Yeah, that was a '90s cartoon that did that.
Yeah.
Um. Yeah. Tim says they already have "What if Superman was a commie?" Yeah, they did that a long time ago. But
Yeah.
I think DC has a couple
Red
of.
Sun Superman's a fun story, though.
I think DC has a couple of spider characters that are um bad. Like, is it Tarantula?
What was it? Wait. Oh,
It's
Timothy.
Yeah, it's me. How is everybody?
Hey, Alpha. Alpha's in the chat. He says in Mexico they hated Gwen Stacy dying, so they branched off the continuity to where Gwen lived.
Huh.
Didn't know that.
Somehow I didn't figure you did because none of us live in Mexico. So
I live pretty close to
That's not a
Mexico.
bad communication thing.
what was that, Tim?
Are you sure that wasn't just bad communication? I mean, when they did Transformers the movie, the Japanese didn't know certain Transformers died for 2 years. So when they did their own continuation of the series, certain Transformers that died, like Prowl and such, are still
Yeah.
alive in their version.
I mean, I wouldn't disbelieve it. It might be apocryphal what he's saying. I don't know. I've heard similar things before, but a lot of people took the death of Gwen Stacy like really, really poorly.
Yeah.
I don't know why. She's just a character.
Yeah.
Yeah, but they begin to love characters, like people took the death of Optimus Prime
Yeah.
badly.
I actually thought they should have kept him dead because like his whole sacrifice meant nothing and to bring him back.
I agree.
You know, he literally sacrificed himself to save everybody, kind of making him a weird version of Jesus. But
Well, well, because Hasbro, they just want the excuse for the new toys to be the new next line of Transformer toys to be there, to be
yeah,
on
it
the
was
way.
true.
So
All the ones that died because their sales were low, and so they had to think of new Transformers.
now
I
they,
don't
they just want to
understand why.
introduce those new Transformers. They got to clear out the old one.
Yeah,
That
so
was the
everybody
whole point of it.
Yeah.
all of a
Now,
sudden,
I do know with Gwen specifically, there were a lot of people that were almost dead set on Peter and Gwen getting married, right? Like, they saw it like you basically taking Peter's future away from him,
Yeah, but I think I
which
heard. I
is
think
still a harsh thing to jump to because it's like, it's a story. Obviously, they have plans for the character after this.
what they hate Mary Jane or something.
well, she was just barely in the picture.
Timeline.
She
Yeah.
was barely in the picture. She had been introduced, but not really as a love interest yet, I think. Although I think Stan wanted her to be a love interest. Get married to um, Mary Jane, not Gwen, if I remember
But
right. What I heard.
but yeah, and then shortly after that storyline, Norman Osborn died. They brought him back like decades later in the '90s, and I don't know why did they bring Norman Osborn back? Because he's never been Green Goblin since then in the comics. So I don't know why.
Uh, just because they
Because they wanted
wanted
to.
him as the Green Goblin instead of Harry or whomever.
No. He's never suited up as Green Goblin since they brought him back.
Yeah, he's been like an Iron Man more often than a Goblin these days.
Yeah,
I
these
know,
days,
like
but
he has not become Green Goblin. Put that suit on again since they brought him back. I don't think.
Not in the Rick. You have to remember when he means this, he means in the main continuity.
yeah. I'm trying to think. I thought he had a few times since they brought him back in the '90s.
No, I saw somebody else. That was somebody else who he's wearing his costume again, as usual.
Well, yeah, there's been a couple other
Yeah, no.
people.
Alphys points out he was Red Goblin.
Yeah,
but briefly, yeah, briefly. But for most part, he's just been a Lex Luthor knockoff called Norman Osborn, and that's most part that's what he has been ever since they brought him back. He has just been not Lex. He's just been not Lex Luthor.
This might be controversial, but I always thought Spider-Man sucked.
Man,
that's
Spider-Man
pretty
was my favorite
controversial.
superhero when I was a kid.
I know.
Yeah, like I was obsessed with Spider-Man when I was like a little kid, but yeah. So.
yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
that's normal.
Spider-Man's
Almost every little kid was.
Yeah, Spider-Man's technically one of my top 5 characters I like.
I went as Spider-Man for Halloween like every other kid did.
I always liked the Cable, Wolverine, Punisher.
Went as Wolverine for Halloween too.
We did.
Oh yeah. Had the fake claws and everything.
Nick Snick. I don't know. I was like the edgier characters. I thought Spider-Man was.
You just like Ghost Rider, Timothy?
What?
Ghost Rider.
You like Ghost Rider?
Ghost Rider. Hell yeah.
I love Ghost Rider.
Skull that's on fire. What else could you want?
Burning people for their sins. Mm.
Exactly.
Wasn't he also? Didn't he become the Goblin King or something like that too?
What, Norman?
No, it's David
I don't
Bowie.
know. Yeah. I don't get it. That's confusing with David Bowie. That was a real life singer.
Oh no,
that's a joke.
somebody died. I'll never become Spider-Man again.
No, there was a thing
But like
where...
Norman has not. Nobody has not been Green Goblin ever since they brought him back to life. He just been just not Lex Luthor, which begs the question as to why they brought him back to life.
I don't know. Like again, they wanted to.
Like if you're not gonna do anything with this character beyond just kind of sort of Lex Luthor, but not as powerful, then was even the point?
You would have been cool,
We
right? Fake out death. He comes back. He's got like a long term illness like cancer and is bedridden, but has all his money and is just like super petty and just like messes with Spider Man and stuff from his bed. That would have been a great direction to go.
Okay, Green Goblin reestablished himself as. I'm not sure if this is Norman or not, but after the Clone Saga, Green Goblin reestablished himself as a Spider-Man nemesis. Now, I'm not sure whether that's Osborn or not.
I don't think it
Was
was.
that during the time that Harry was the Goblin?
The hero was dead at that point.
No,
Oh,
that
this is when
was
he was dead, yeah.
I think that was Ben.
That was done the Ben Riley stuff.
Yeah, but Ben Urich, his nephew or something like that, became Green Goblin, who was a good guy.
Yeah. Now I remember now.
It says here, Osborn would go on to attack Spider-Man directly. This is after Spectacular Spider-Man 250, indirectly through minions and via smear campaigns designed to portray him as a monster. However, Norman Osborn would still wear his Green Goblin costume when needed. So
I'll tell you the time of Spider-Man I didn't like going back and reading through it. And it was, I guess, kind of sort of the early point of his and MJ's relationship. I didn't care for the very brief college section of like Peter's life. I liked high school. I liked his adult life after that. I didn't care for the part where he was also trying to balance his studies. I don't think it added to the storytelling much at all.
I like Alba's reaction to Tim.
Which is also probably why it was very brief, because I think a lot of people probably realized the same thing.
Oh, you mean right after I said, "Oh, I dare very much."
Yeah.
Well, just the whole thing when you said about not liking Spider-Man, you say for me to kick you. How dare you
I
not
told
like
you. I told you it was a controversial statement.
Hey, everybody has a right to like or not like characters. I think.
I mean, I'm just saying that anybody who wants to give up doing something because they, oh no, people get hurt and I don't want to be Spider-Man anymore.
Well, actually, it wasn't because people got hurt for him. It was more.
There's always like a few times where he just wanted to stop being Spider-Man or something, and because
there has, but usually it's because his life is so messed up because of being Spider-Man. He wants just
exactly.
Tim just doesn't care for the melodrama.
Another thing about I was just thinking at the moment was what would happen if you tried to restore Superman's characterization to back how he was back in the Silver Age? I think that would be controversial if you did that.
No, because they kind of did that at the beginning of the New 52, and it just didn't last very long. Because New 52 Superman was pretty close to Silver Age Superman, but people just preferred the New Earth version.
Yeah, people like the John Byrne version more so than the old Silver Age stuff, where he would treat Jimmy Olsen like crap and whatnot.
Alpha saying no. All-Star did that.
Oh, he All-Star Superman. I hate All-Star Superman.
That was the DC's first attempt, I think, at doing Ultimate universe.
Now, All-Star Superman was made Superman well, that's by Grant Morrison. that made Superman to like this infallible figure or something.
Yeah, but like New 52 Superman was he wasn't quite a Boy Scout. In fact, he was willing to get like rough and tumble, and even kind of reveled on being able to fight things that he didn't have to hold back against. But it just
Yeah,
it wasn't as popular as the New Earth Superman.
but I'm not talking about like it be like exact. I would like a Superman run that was just written exactly like the old Silver Age comics where it's very silly and he treats Jimmy Olsen like crap and you know these old Silver Age
Yeah, yeah.
comics.
The problem is like nobody wants to write it though,
Yeah,
or more so like the editors don't want it written. But
yeah, and I don't think a lot of people want it. Like it was good, probably all right for
But
its
I mean
time.
that's when Superman sold the best back in the 50s and 60s.
yeah, but
Yeah,
that's
well,
also when comics sold the best in
yeah,
general.
What's
Well,
that?
yeah, that's
What's
what.
that?
to be fair, it's not the 50s or 60s anymore. So
I know, but Mel, what did you say?
I was saying, but also that might not be particular to the type of stories they were doing with Superman. It was the time when comics sold the best,
Oh, okay.
right? Like more people were just buying comics in general during that
Yeah,
time.
Mm.
that and the '90s is when I think, sold the best.
There
Because
was another boom in like the middle of the '90s, but it fell off pretty hard again later.
well, I
yeah,
mean, the
Mm.
90s were different in the fact that people felt the need to read edgier books instead of just like toned
But
down.
most people just buying comics for the art and thinking that they'll be worth something in 10 years in the future. But upside they wasn't.
Well, those are
Well, that's
some
just
people.
now.
Not me,
I
I
don't
just
think
like how over the top the violence was.
like there were
I want to
people who
see some.
started doing that in the '90s, but it wasn't really a big thing then. There were a lot of people that were buying it. I would say art was a big thing. Not that it was just for the art, but it was for like the action and stuff going on in the art. There were a lot of people who cared more about the pictures than the words at that time. I don't
Mm.
think that is true about say like the 50s and 60s sales though. But there was also a difference in printing too, right? Around the late 80s, you start getting more complex printing, which is why you're allowed to have like a higher range of colors and stuff during that time too. Throughout like the whole '90s, had more complex coloring because of that development. So the art was also very, very different in that time than it was in previous eras
yeah.
because they could get away with like loading more colors onto the page.
Yeah. I'm only speaking from my point of view. I just
Yeah,
the over the top violence and action. There is something happening in the book versus just endless dialogue and nothing happening.
yeah.
Or
And Alpha says
stupidity.
he
How
liked
we?
the '90s X-Men, like early '90s X-Men and Spider-Man, but had no idea the Avengers existed. The thing is, if you look at the sales for Marvel during the '90s, yeah, comics were booming, comics were selling again, but it is kind of just those titles, right? Like Spider-Man was always still selling. X-Men really popped off, especially when did Claremont come in like '86 or something like that?
No,
I'm trying to think
late 70s.
when he revamped the X-Men.
Oh, that was like in the 90s, early 90s, I think.
Right. I think it technically started in the late '80s, but then it went through the '90s.
No, Claremont's run started. I think started in the late 70s, but then he revamped in like the early 90s.
But my main point is when people think about the like '90s X-Men, they're thinking about the stuff that was done under Claremont, which
It was
was big action shots and walls of text.
Was there did Chris Claremont have anything to do with the Mur Island saga that kind of closed out the original chapter of the X-Men and kind of before they relaunched it?
Maybe I do not specifically recall. I'd have to look.
It was like the last kind of like saga
Yeah.
they did before Jim Lee took over and started with X-Men #1.
No, by the way, what these number ones even mean? Anything? What these number ones even mean? I don't get it.
That'd be the first issue.
But not, no, not anymore. I mean,
Well,
Oh,
no,
yeah,
that's
I know what you're
because
talking about.
they keep relaunching and rehashing like series from like, and I think people get kind of burnt out by that.
They do it specifically for the thing that Fizz brought up before, for the collector market. They know that number ones get bought by people for resale value, even though most of these aren't going to have any value.
why
Because
do a
The
number one
speculative
for something
market.
that's not a new series?
Well, it is, but it
because collectors
isn't.
are suckers.
Well, it is, but it isn't. But the sales tank.
Like if it's a new property or something like a new, then a number one makes sense.
Yeah,
But like,
but here, let me explain. Because as from what I understand, the sales end up tanking. They're trying to push a character on people. So since the sales have tanked, they decide, oh, let's do a relaunch with a number one and get the sales back up for a bit. They don't change much or anything, but they're getting you to buy it because it's a number one, and everybody thinks, ooh, number one, I gotta have a number one. I gotta read a number one.
that makes no sense. If
But
you
it's
want to
also
get the
for
sales
resale.
up, if you want to get the sales up, all you gotta do is just put a big name, a variant cover artist on the important event issue
Well, that's
or
another
something.
reason why they do number ones is because you can also get away with doing more variant covers for them, right?
Yeah,
You could do like 10 variant covers for a number one.
but see, it's
But
not.
that actually messes up the reading order though, of course, obviously. But they don't care.
Yeah, but see, yeah, the A don't care, and that's the thing is they don't care about the variant thing, although they do a little because it gets them more money. But again, they do the variant. That's just one issue. They get all when they do a relaunch, a number one for the next, 4 or 5 issues. The sales go up for each one. You know, till people realize, oh, this still sucks, and stop buying it.
Yeah, it's something we've been complaining about for like genuinely years, right? Like I was complaining about this exact thing a decade ago, when the Vomitorium was an audio only podcast. When like we were talking about how local comic book stores were shutting down en masse. Can't believe
Yeah,
it's been over a decade now. But like one of the biggest thing that is the problem is how they decide to basically try to recover their losses through people engaging in the speculative market, right? And it's not just that they relaunch number ones, which is a huge problem. It does make it harder to follow the story. Um, it makes people think this is when they can jump in, but they still need all of the context of the stuff before it. So people jump in and then immediately jump back out because they're completely lost. And the way they sell the variants is they would force you to buy like 5 copies of the non-variant, like the normal cover, for every variant copy. And the comic book stores know that their longtime buyers, the people who do engage in the speculative market, want that variant cover. So they have to make sure that they get enough variant covers for them. But because they have to get enough of that, that means they get a bunch of the standard covers that they're probably not even going to be able to sell all of them. But it doesn't matter to the publisher because they count all of the sales that go to stores, not the sales that the stores have. So from their perspective, they sold a lot of comics.
Hmm. Like if you made a comic
It's a
called
pyramid
Huntress
scheme.
Number One, that would actually mean something.
yeah. Oh,
Because I
look,
don't think she's ever
Hunter,
had her own
Hunter.
full series before.
She's had a mini series or two.
Uh,
I have at least one of them. Let's see. Alpha saying TV helped sell the comics in the '90s. He says they use the number ones as the start of a new story arc. Now, he says I don't like it, but that is what they do. I wouldn't say a new story arc, but just almost trying to get people to. Well, I said it earlier, so don't need to say it again. And he says, I like it
Well,
when
now
they
instead of
keep
like
it.
a new story arc, it would be like a new run, right? Like you
Yeah,
changed the people working on it just as an
yeah.
excuse to restart the number.
Yeah. He says, I like it when they actually, the actual number, but it includes a sub number like for the arcs A1 through 6, something like that. He says, I hate it when they do relaunching numbers. At least in the 90s, the Uncanny X-Men became the X-Men comic. At least give the title a new name.
Yeah, I know what he's talking about with the 1 to 6. It's kind of like Civil War was like its own thing, but there were a bunch of spin-off stuff under people's other things. So if you're reading Miss Marvel, the Civil War section is still part of her normal run, but it says like Miss Marvel Civil War 1 of 6,
Yeah.
which is much easier for following an arc specifically. But yeah, I also agree that like the '90s, one of the good things about that is there were so many like animations and cartoons and stuff going on at that time, right? But everything that was happening was kind of reflective of what they were doing with the characters in the comics at the time. So they actually would have helped sell comics as opposed to say later on in the like tens, right? Where they're revamping and changing all of these characters and trying to replace them with legacy characters that are nothing like the movies that people are watching.
Yeah, or the
Yeah.
cartoons, which are focusing probably more on older stuff and all that, you know,
Yeah,
Yeah.
but
because
why even I don't get why even replace them with legacy characters when you just get comics about different characters?
Ego.
it's all about, well, it's about two things nowadays: money and agenda. And sometimes agenda
Like,
trumps money.
like, do you know how? Do you know how? Why does Brian Michael Bendis for the past like decade or so just kept making the same character again? This one black teenage girl who is super smug and make a whole bunch of comics about this one character with on different names.
Because he
So
has a
if
he has an agenda. He wants, identity politics. He's pushing it. Oh, you're going to like this
uh,
black female character whether you
Well, I
like it or
also
not.
heard that he has a more personal agenda when it comes to that. Um, from what I know, and this could be wrong, that he has adopted children.
Yeah.
He has an older, both a black adopted son, which was around the time that Miles was made, and he has a black adopted daughter who's younger that he got later on. And he's even said that he wants to personally make heroes for them, which I can get behind,
Yeah.
absolutely. Uh, when he makes original stuff and aren't like legacy characters taking over, like what was that one? He's made one single one over at DC who's like a completely
Naomi,
yeah, Naomi. Naomi I'm fine
but
with. I don't like her as a character, but I'm fine with her existence. I don't have a problem with that.
Heck, I'm actually fine with Miles' existence. If that's,
Mhm.
well, I was always fine with Miles' existence.
Yeah.
I didn't mind him in the New 52. They killed off
we mean
not New 52,
ultimate
Ultimate. Sorry,
ultimate Marvel.
Yeah.
I just misspoke, confusing my things.
Although I think Milestone is back, it was very telling that DC pushes diversity, but they buy Milestone and shelve all the characters except for two.
They already own Milestone from the beginning because I was
Yeah,
published
but
under DC.
they bought them up and then they shelve all
We
except
mean
for
bought
two.
them. We mean bought them up. We mean bought them up. They was already owned by DC.
Uh,
Really, I thought they weren't.
No, there's always owned by DC. You need to talk about it. They bought Charlton. They bought some other companies, but the Milestone was always part of DC from the very
well,
beginning.
let's see.
I'm talking about from a publishing standpoint.
Uh, uh, Milestone Media is a media company which was created by Milestone Comics. Well,
Which were published and
uh,
distributed by DC
DC
Comics.
Comics. Yeah, published doesn't mean
Exactly.
necessarily owned.
That doesn't matter. That doesn't matter. There's always tie finance together from the very beginning.
Yeah,
It's
but that,
like,
that does matter. That is a difference. There's a distinction there.
yeah, because a lot of people got image was it to publish and distribute their stuff, but Image didn't own their stuff.
Well, it doesn't make any sense because I heard they got bought up by DC Comics.
Yeah, they probably did
Well,
end up
But
getting bought by DC. Probably. Uh,
they did. They
but
did show.
that was even before the Stack Shock show. But that was even before the Stack
Yeah,
Shock show.
I'm looking through the
Well, but
history too,
my
and
point
they
is,
only retained the right to
you
publish.
had
They
a
didn't own any
universe
material.
full of these black characters, and they shelve all of them except for two, which is
Yeah,
Mister
because
Terrific.
DC sells any character that isn't the big names. So that doesn't matter.
yeah,
How does it not matter?
it's all
No,
about.
it's not like
My point is, they
it's not.
had original universe full of black characters. That's diversity right there, and they shelve all except for two.
Yeah,
Well, even Static gets in showing the stick. They only do anything with Static. So
They did something with Static for a while, and then they kind of like just forgot about them, and it's all
of course
about
they forget
yeah,
about him.
but you want to
yeah,
know
Mister
something?
Terrific was somewhere in they used him, but
Well, Mr.
what about
Well,
Terrific
okay,
was
there's
their
a
own
Hardware?
difference
What
though,
character.
and
about
I can answer Tim's question on why they don't do much, right? So technically, when they merged the Milestone, like the Darkiverse, into or the Dakotaverse, whatever they call it, the Dakotaverse into the DC universe, a lot of those characters, the original creators still had control rights over, right? So like Priest still has a lot of control rights. So they can use those characters, but they also, if they want to do like an actual storyline, like a title, they have to work with the original creators.
and they don't want to do that.
Yeah, and in some cases, the creators don't want to work with them either.
Right. Well, I guess my whole point was they had that's diversity right there. The original characters, and they're not taking legacy characters and changing them. They had them right there.
Mm.
If they really care
Yeah.
so much
But they
about
have been
diversity,
using some of the characters since
yeah.
2015 in Earth M. Though they couldn't get the use of all the characters, so sometimes they've had to make up characters that were based on some of the older ones.
I see.
Yeah. So it might be not. I get that. That's a whole thing more with rights and all that possibly why they're not using them. But unfortunately, a lot of the people that are doing this, using the legacy characters, they're using the legacy characters because they have a name. They don't care whether they have one that, an already black character or whatever that they can do something with that, might already stand for whatever they want. It's, they just do it because, oh, this legacy black character everybody already knows, and oh, they'll buy his books or her books or whatever books, you know, already.
So that's why we got like Riri Williams and I don't still understand what the point of that was. And what else? Like like we need to have what else? What are these new characters introduced? I forgot them all because they're just so irrelevant now.
Well, Riri is, I believe, an
It was
original
never
character.
relevant.
Riri, I believe, is an original character, but just poorly
No,
written.
no, no. This is just Black female Iron Man.
Yeah,
Exactly.
yes, technically she's black female Iron Man, but I mean original character as in they made her up. Yes, they made her a token character based on Iron Man. Like Supergirl is a token, you know, woman
They
character
marketed
too.
her as a legacy character. She was marketed no different than when they brought Miles in.
Yeah. But I just more mean she's quote unquote original character for lack of a
Well,
better way.
she's original enough, but you know the sole intent was to have a black Iron Man.
Yeah.
But we already have War Machine. But we're just gonna
Yeah,
we
exactly. They already have War
but
Machine.
Brian Michael Bendis wants to appeal to his daughter or something. His daughter to be in the comic. So here's Riri Williams. What else? What else legacy swaps they did after during that area? I forgot them all.
Oh, Falcon became Captain America. Even
But
though I
I
think
Well,
don't get.
okay. I gotta catch
although
up with the chat here. And hello,
Mhm.
Trusty. Trusty Sidekick is here. Let's see. Alpha has got a lot here that he said. Alpha said he has a black adopted daughter. This is going way back. It might be from the other guy, not Bendis, or what's it, Bendis? I forget who we were talking
Yeah,
about.
it was Bendis. We were talking about Bendis.
He said maybe she is smug. Is Naomi a trans Amazon? Then he said,
No, now it's not transsexual. It's just the same character again. It's literally the same character as Riri Williams again, except different powers. So
okay,
instead,
well,
it's like a knockoff.
that's
It's a
funny.
knockoff Superman because Ryan Michael Bendis is uncreative except she's from another dimension instead of being alien.
okay.
Yeah,
Then he
X-23
says they bought them in the
destroyed.
90s, didn't they? Alpha says that's, of course, talking about
Talking about
Milestone.
Milestone.
From Dwayne Duffy and McDuffie and crew. I guess that's who owned Milestone at the time. Shouldn't
He's
the
dead. He's dead now.
yeah. Shouldn't the publisher's job to be make them big names? Well, that's he can try,
The,
but he a publisher can
the,
try to do that, but it's
they don't.
ultimately though. Well, they may or may not try. I'm not saying but once you present it to the public, then the public decides one way or another.
The thing is,
And
no. The thing is, the DC doesn't care about making the pop characters they own big names. Let alone characters that they might not own the rights to.
yeah,
Uh,
well,
so so
they've got their big names. They got Superman, they got Batman, Spider
we all
Man.
know
Well,
we
not
all know
Spider Man,
Superman,
Flash.
Batman, Wonder Woman, The Flash,
You
Green
also
Lantern, and Green Arrow,
don't,
and Aquaman.
and this is something that they're learning right now that previous generations that ran the company already knew, and they're just relearning it. You don't get to decide who gets to be a big name or not. You could try to push them all you want. The company is not in control who becomes a big name. The
Yeah,
public is.
yeah, and that's what I was trying to say.
For example, they won't even. For example, DC would never make probably never make a Martian Manhunter comic ever again. Or nor would they probably ever make what's that
Well,
uh
actually,
well
I keep being told every single time that if there's, I have no interest in the absolute DC stuff, but if there's anyone I should be reading, it's the absolute Martian Manhunter.
Yeah, yeah. I think they are doing that. I could be wrong.
Yeah, they are. There is currently an absolute Martian Manhunter.
oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
I didn't know exactly. See, when's the last time he had any kind of solo run?
I don't know for sure. I know he's had a few one shots. I think he's had a few mini series.
Mm.
Again, it's even with DC and
So,
Marvel. It's about the execution of something, how they do it, whether it goes over or not, whether comic fans
Exactly.
like it or not.
They don't even
so
do
the
they don't, yeah they don't
absolute
even do solo
series.
runs for they barely even do solo runs for characters like the Question or well a lot of characters they bought from Charlton
Yeah.
like that
It,
like they just when's the last time they did a Captain Atom run
yeah,
exactly
yeah, yeah. But
exactly
the other thing is they
So,
can only publish so much. They only have so much money. People can only buy so.
but they published
Uh,
multiple Batman books
yeah, because
yeah, they
Batman
do that.
sells.
so
They,
like we're gonna have like 6 Gotham books
The
yeah,
thing is,
six
they
like
also
6 to 8
publish way
Gotham
more
books.
books than any of us know about all the time. Like,
Mm-hmm.
genuinely all the time. You just don't hear about them because nobody ends up buying them or liking them.
Mm-hmm.
yeah,
But, like, all
There's
these
always
characters have had runs within, like, the last decade.
yeah,
Very
yeah,
short lived ones because nobody bought them.
yeah. Okay. Anyways, I gotta still catch up with the chat. It's
So basically, the
Alpha said.
absolute.
What was that, Tim?
I was gonna say, so basically, the absolute series is their version of the ultimate. Oh,
Yeah, but it's way darker in some ways, way different.
No, it's
Anyways,
just as dark as the Ultimate.
I find it a little darker, but that's my opinion. Anyways, Alpha said it worked for Static. They made a cartoon. The cartoon made him a household name, and then they forgot about him. Trusty sidekick then pipes in and says, "Even my wife enjoyed watching Static Shock, the cartoon." Then Alpha says, "For a while, she did have a name, Iron Man, even though." She is a woman. Then says X-23 became Wolverine. Amadeus Chow became the totally awesome Hulk. Female Thor. He's saying all these legacy. Well, I wouldn't say legacy, but characters that became legacy characters. Whatever, you know what I mean. I think. Female Thor, Robbie Reyes, Ghost Rider, Kamala Khan, Miss Marvel, Kate Bishop, Hawkeye.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Kate
they.
Bishop Hawkeye is one of the worst ones. That was Kate Bishop is just an awful character in the comics.
Yeah, I think I've seen her a little bit. I'm not sure, but you know, the thing is, some people like these characters, some people don't. Obviously, I think some are definitely way more popular than others. You know, and if somebody likes them, fine. You know, that's great. But you know, I don't think most people
Uh,
are liking what they're doing,
Kate
what they
Bishop's
do.
entire character begins and ends with ego. I don't think she even has any positive personality traits. She's just super egotistical, Hawkeye successor, and she hates the original because
none of these characters have
he's better than him.
positive personality traits.
Uh, I
But
forget whether I've read anything with her or not, so I'm not gonna
I
comment
think I
on.
did a long time ago. I don't even want to remember. I don't even want to remember. I think
Yeah, well, I just wanna, if I'm gonna comment, I wanna make sure I'm, know and not just going by quote
You
unquote
have
hearsay.
actually read it. Same.
Yeah, like I know a little bit about some of this stuff through DC and Marvel, the history there from watching videos or whatever. People going over the history of stuff or whatever. So I don't want to say too much. Even then, it's just this is what I've heard. I'm saying unless I've read it,
Fortunate
I don't
or
want to comment on what a character is like or not like. I just know what a lot of people think of the character. They don't like her for whatever.
I did read an issue a long time ago, and I blanked it out of my memory. That's one of the things I just don't want to remember.
Yeah,
I fortunately or unfortunately, I have a older brother that no matter what shit Marvel DC put out, he'll buy it regardless and have an
yeah,
excuse for it.
yeah.
But
I unfortunately don't. Like I haven't had the money since either the early thousands to buy comic books in mass, and well, and then I started reading them online for quite some time, getting them through the high seas. But that dried up, so then I ended up just stop reading them. I still love superheroes. I still go see the movies and all that, but and
I just like
now
what I used.
life's too busy for me to read, 50 comic books a week anymore. That might be
Life's
it.
too busy for me to read the awful stuff they're putting out.
Yeah,
Yeah, well, that
I
too.
kind of more days like what I'm doing, but I'll still, if I can, read what I used to have. So, but yeah,
I
my brother's
did when it was new. I did read volume 1 and 2, like all like the 2 years of Miss Marvel with Kamala Khan,
Yeah,
and
and volume 2 is garbage. Actually, not that the writing's garbage; it's the decisions are. Uh, volume 1, if you were to divorce it from most of the lore that it's infringing on, is actually a pretty good YA comic. but only in volume form. It's pretty bad issue by issue because it's written uh, almost for the trade. And I think that's another big problem about it. Like, she could have been a pretty good original character. Even some of like the identity issues that she's going through very early on is pretty good. But it is a miserable read if you're only reading it issue by issue and not in the trade. And
No, I
probably the
see.
only redeeming story of quality that she even has as a character.
Did they even do anything with the engineer later on? With that whole
Uh,
bird dude, Thomas
don't think
Edison
so.
clone?
I,
I
I,
got,
I don't think so.
yeah, exactly. Because I don't think the writers even care. Writers even care.
Well, it's not just the writers; it is editors. It's the people, the
It's a
uppity.
machine.
It's the uppity ups. You know, like a writer might want to use, like a character, but then they get told no, you can't use this character for whatever reason, too, by the uppity ups. And you know what? I can see that in some ways, as depending on what they pitch or whatever, how they would pitch it, or timeline wise or whatever. If you're the one in charge, maybe you don't think it works. And I can, like I said, through doing my own comics, I can see that aspect of it. So, like if I have, I hate to use the word, but agenda. But like we all have agendas for whatever reason, good or bad, and like I have the agenda in my comics of how I want to introduce stuff, right? So anyways, anybody else got something else to say?
I've been kind of bored with this topic for a while. I'm just chiming in whenever there's something that catches me.
Yeah.
Anyway,
No, I don't. I got. I don't.
it's not
I've been bored from. I've been bored for the past week because I ain't been able to do anything. So
I've been
that
doing some
normally
shit.
I've been normally been doing. But uh, I'm trying. I don't even have much to even watch because I don't really watch anything anymore. Like when's the last time I watched? I've been hooked into a story. Like I don't know. No, it's been over a year.
Is
Okay.
there a topic you do want to bring up, metal?
Uh, Not particularly. Like, I'm kind of just here vibing.
Oh,
I'm
just
I'm
vibe it.
working on coloring this page of X Dynamis Chaos in the background while we're talking.
Nice, nice. Working, getting that shit done.
I I was gonna say you want to show it or
No, my computer will die
okay.
if I chose to do that. That's not an option.
Nah, cause like I haven't really been watching anything really. Well, I think I might try to get resume People of Earth, but I'm like, I don't know.
Oh,
It's an old show that came out a long time ago. Well, to
okay,
me, a long time ago. I don't know about you,
okay.
Well, I watched the
but
latest season of Invincible. That's the latest thing I've watched.
I think it was Alien Earth or something that I watched recently.
Alien Earth. Yeah, yeah, I remember that Alien Earth. Yeah, Alien Earth, which most people just seem to hate, but I don't know.
I don't know why people hate it. I enjoyed it.
I mean,
Yeah.
I mean, I mean, the it was juggling a whole bunch of ideas.
Yeah,
Well, I think I'm gonna know Fitzchozo's answer to this already, and I think I know Metals, but I could be wrong. Anybody gonna go see the Mandalorian and Grogu?
Oh no.
probably.
No,
Well,
I
Fitzchozo.
probably will.
you already know I was gonna say no.
Yeah, I
Only
knew
till I'm
that.
invited.
And I didn't
But
hear.
I did like the Mandalorian series. I did like that whole Western
Yeah, I
sci-fi
never
kind of.
watched a single episode of Mandalorian, and I don't care to.
Yeah.
Oh well,
Well.
you should give it a try. I mean, it's not all that bad.
I didn't like it.
You didn't like it? Like I
No,
said, I like the whole
wasn't for me.
sci-fi Western aspect. Just like I actually like the Book of Boba Fett. It was like a
Uh, uh,
sci-fi like crime.
I like space
I just
westerns. It just didn't do anything for me.
Yeah.
Actually.
I don't like any I don't watch any Disney Plus shows. As a matter of fact, single
Okay.
one, because I don't have Disney Plus and I don't care to get Disney Plus.
You don't drink, you don't smoke. What do you do?
So I don't know.
Guess what? I don't have
I mean,
Disney Plus, and I don't plan to get it, but I watched it.
Yeah.
why we even be bothered to watch it? That's the thing. It's not something that even musters any emotion inside me.
Well, I
Yeah.
mean, maybe, just maybe, who knows? You might like it.
No, I don't know. I didn't. I don't know.
Oh, I
I
doubt
can
that.
try. I can try like trying to force myself to watch. Force myself to watch more Ranma or something like that. I, mean, I don't know. That's kind of painful. So
I tell you what, I do want to see Mortal Kombat 2.
Yeah.
don't have no interest in that either.
What?
At least Mortal Kombat 2 is going to be more like Mortal Kombat. I did not like the direction they went with the first one.
That was, that was. I felt like the whole movie was just to set things up.
Yeah,
I
it should have
realize
been
I
called
still
like
ain't.
Mortal Kombat Zero. That's what they should have called it.
That's what they
I
probably
still.
should have called it. And I
I still ain't
personally,
watched the Twisted Metal show. Yeah,
I've seen
kind of
I've seen
barely have
clips of
interest in
that.
that.
That looks like it might be fun.
Yeah, I've actually heard nothing but good things about that.
Sweet Tooth.
Anybody like the Street Fighter?
I have no interest.
Yeah.
Ah, man, I have mixed feelings about it.
It might
Right?
be good.
Because
It has to be better than that 1994 Street Fight
I like the
live action,
1994 Street Fighter.
the live
that
action one.
that live action one is a work of cinematic art if you watch it in black and white.
I don't know. I just they all somehow know each other. I mean, come on.
Yeah. Well, so I have like the same equal problems with this new one that I had with the old one for completely different reasons. But this one specifically is it feels like they're just jumping straight to the modern stuff, and I get it because they want to sell the modern stuff. But it is reminiscent more of Street Fighter 5 and 6 than it is from like starting a story.
Right.
Yeah.
We can all agree that the anime was superior. The Street Fighter
Oh yeah,
anime series,
absolutely.
absolutely.
Yeah, that's not even close.
But I kind of found out why they did it that way. Apparently, Hasbro wanted to do a line of Street Fighter toys, and it kind of promote it like a GI Joe kind of toy line.
Yeah, yeah, like an
So they
action
did
figure
that.
line.
They made the live action movie to promote the toys.
Yeah,
So I was like, oh, okay, I get it, but it's still a stupid movie.
Yeah.
I
Well,
like it for what it is. I'm not gonna call it like the greatest adaptation of Street Fighter because it's not.
no, it's
Even
not.
even with the problems I'll have with the new one, it's probably still gonna be a better adaptation of Street Fighter.
The bitter
I could
irony
go
that it's
in
Raul
knowing
Julia's
that's gonna
last
be the
movie.
case, right?
Mm.
If you divorced Street Fighter from the original, it's actually a really good movie.
I guess
Yeah.
if you wanted to watch something new was pretty much crap, and you're like, okay, I'm gonna watch this movie and kind of laugh at it.
Because
Yeah.
well, there's some pretty good dramatic scenes in that older movie.
That is something I agree. There's a lot of movies, if they weren't supposed to be quote unquote, this thing that we already know and love or like or whatever,
Yeah, yeah.
that
It's
they
like
would
this would be
probably,
a good movie. It's just a horrible adaptation.
yeah.
It's how I feel about the entire Resident Evil franchise of movies.
Oh yeah, I watch those and I love those, but I know they're bad. But
Yeah.
I never
I
bothered
like
watching
them.
them.
Like they're
I like
good,
to
fun
call.
action movies. They're bad
Yeah.
Resident Evil movies.
Oh yeah. I like watching. They're terrible movies, but for some reason I can't help but want to watch them. I like to call them
Not
Super
me,
Alice
because
movies.
I don't waste time watching movies that aren't good.
But okay, the
Why
thing is,
not?
I'm not
Have
even
you ever
calling them
watched
bad.
anything on Mystery Science Theater 3000?
For their genre, I think they're actually good. They're just not good Resident Evil movies.
Yeah,
You
that's
Like
saying
why I
that
call
they're
them
it could
good
be better
Matrix
to call them like
knockoffs?
Resident Alice. Resident Alice is a decent name for the series.
Resident Alice. There you go.
Yeah.
No,
But
I mean, you said they're decent Matrix knockoffs, right?
Um, maybe I would actually probably put them more akin to like Underworld than the Matrix.
Well, Underworld came out after, but I think, but
Yeah, but like
Yeah,
it's closer to that style of storytelling. Like I don't know if I would really call it like a
you never
Matrix
watch a
though.
movie. You never. You're telling me you never watch a
the
movie that you know is bad, but it's entertaining still.
uh, let's see, I don't know that not really.
Oh man. It's like a movie you could just veg out to and not even like if you want to just turn
No,
your brain off.
Oh, we used to
Just
have
want to sit
bad
there
movie
and watch
nights
the movie.
in Rick's
my,
Discord server. Like we'd intentionally watch bad movies.
yeah, but it's in some ways they were supposed to be so bad that they were good or decent or
That's
something
what we're
like.
kind of talking about, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Usually
I
you
mean,
were the
ever
one
since like
recommending them.
Yep.
yeah.
I've seen a lot of bad movies in my life.
Oh, I'm sure I have too. But some of them I know they're bad. Some of them
Hey,
yeah, but
Fizz, you ever watch any Mystery Science Theater episodes?
no, I have no interest.
Oh, no, come on. Oh, that's I'm gonna turn this.
poor Tim.
You gotta watch it. They're hilarious. They sit there and make fun of really bad films.
Mostly old sci-fi movies from the 1950s.
Oh, well, older than that sometimes.
Dude, season 1 had like 5 or 6 Gamera episodes in it.
They had like was it? Speaking of Raul Julia, they had like an old sci-fi movie he did called Overdrawn with the Memory Bank,
Mm.
which was like a sci-fi version of Casablanca.
Yeah, I just actually did a show talking about Mystery Science Theater on what was it? Matt Reese's channel 2 weeks ago.
Really?
I don't care.
Like I've probably seen more riff tracks than Mystery Science Theater.
Really?
I
I
could
mean, I
probably
caught the.
count the number of Mystery Science Theater episodes I've watched on both hands. I enjoy them though. I just haven't watched a lot.
I think I caught the series towards the end of the Joel era, going into
Yeah.
the Mike era, and I honestly think that Mike was funnier than Joel. Joel was okay, but Mike was funnier.
Mm.
And the thing is,
If
there's
you,
a lot of times you're not sure whether you're going to like something till you actually see it too.
But no, the thing is, some things just I have no interest in. Not but mostly because it's the companies involved with, or it's the premise that does not sound interesting. I tried watching one episode of Freyrin. Did I like Freyrin? No.
Yeah. Well, sometimes you got to get pat. Sometimes it takes more than one
Well, I
thing
think
to get.
Fizz is a person of very, very specific tastes.
Yeah, well, there's that
uh,
too. But I'm just, I don't know. It's I've, like I think of like Batman Begins. Like if I went with that business thinking, I never would have saw that movie. And I think Batman Begins was pretty good myself.
Oh,
You
it's
know,
I think it's the only one that I will rewatch of the Nolan trilogy is Batman Begins.
because I
Dark Knight,
remember
definitely Dark Knight.
Most of the time.
I remember going into that movie. I was going to see it with my buddy, and I thought I was going in expecting to be disappointed because with the trailers and all that, I knew it wasn't way off from Batman. You know what it's supposed for what I believed it was
So
supposed to be.
I subconsciously learned to accept to accept most things coming out of Disney and other big major companies are going to be bad. Like for example, I watched I mean back during COVID, I watched the Daredevil TV show for the first time. The first season of the live action Daredevil for the first time. I thought it was really good.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I liked
Then
Daredevil.
no, then I watched Jessica Jones. The first episode of Jessica Jones is like one of the worst television series episodes I ever watched in my entire life up to that point.
It's unfortunate. You know why? Because I also enjoyed the first season of Jessica Jones.
yeah, same here.
But to each their own.
Yeah, everybody's different. Everybody has the thing, but usually that's why I give something the chance. You know, like went and watched that or tried to watch the Echo TV series. I never got through it. I still like got
Yeah,
like
I
it.
don't even. I don't give these Disney live action remakes and Disney Plus shows even a chance. Like, I just know they're gonna be bad anyway, so I'm not even gonna watch it.
Well, then that sounds silly. Well,
Yeah, because like I think I agree with Tim. Sometimes it is fun to just watch something that's bad.
Yeah, I know I
I'm not
had
going to give
to.
them money to watch it bad, but it's fun to watch something that's bad.
I don't know. I think I should try giving Ron another try. I don't know. I don't know. It's just, it's not really,
Like
I guess at
it's
this
just
point, I
not
would
fun.
prefer if you didn't.
um
Or like,
I know like watched the first episode of Star Trek Prodigy, I think it is, the new cartoon one. And I didn't wasn't really liking it or no, or was that no, Lower Decks cartoon. And I didn't really like
uh,
and then
yeah, this is it's a bad attempt to copy Ricky Morty. Back poorly. The poor attempt to copy it.
well that may be true, but it's Star Trek. And I not that I've watched a lot of Rick and Morty. I wouldn't mind checking it out. I've seen some clips. I think I might have seen one episode. But my point is more. I watched that originally, a one episode of it, and it was like, okay, this I don't think this is really for me. And then ended up giving it another chance a few years later, or something like that, a couple years later. And it wasn't as bad as I thought it was gonna be or whatever. In fact, there's a lot of fan service in it, and I actually like it a fair bit. I'd say not as much as other Star Trek shows, but hey,
No, it's not that I don't sympathize with Fizz either, though, because like
yeah,
I've told him this before. I can become apathetic towards a property, especially if they've been doing horrible things with it long enough. Like I'll become apathetic to the point that like I just don't even want to engage with the property anymore, even if they make something good. Like they've just lost me.
yeah, and I get that.
Like
I get that for
uh
sure.
like I've become like I've become apathetic towards Marvel, for example, and Star Wars. So, and also I never cared about this Disney live action remake. Never did, even when I was a kid. I did not care about movies.
Well, the live
I
action
don't.
remakes, I haven't seen it. Oh, sorry, I've seen one, Lilo and Stitch.
Yeah, but I never cared about the movies. Just watch the original. There's no real reason to watch these movies.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I definitely for say Little Mermaid, I'd probably rather watch the cartoon myself.
There are a couple of them, like very early on, right? And I think this was the problem. Like it set an okay precedent. I thought the Jungle Book one did a pretty good job
I thought
of
Cinderella was
not.
okay. With a good job.
Yeah, I can see that one too. And Jungle Book did a good enough job of capturing the feeling of the movie without like destroying the movie at the same time, right? I think it justified its existence. Then they kind of just started not doing so well after that.
Yeah,
Um,
like the Beauty and the Beast was that's all. That was just ugh.
I have to
Yeah,
correct myself. I saw Jungle Book as well when it came out. Just because I saw that one. Oh, I saw that one originally as a cartoon in theaters when I was a kid.
Yeah.
but you know, keep in mind, I don't see these Disney live action remakes in theaters. I only saw them on TV. I thought
Yeah, I
Cinderella.
didn't see the Jungle Book in theater either.
Yeah, well,
Yeah, I saw this on TV. Yeah,
well,
but that was okay.
I never even really thought of that as a thing, remake and all that metal. Just something live action remake.
Yeah, it
So
was fun.
he's, yeah, I know it because I
Um,
saw it, but I wasn't thinking of it like like Cinderella or Little Mermaid or whatever for some reason.
the
Because it
Maleficent was
wasn't
bad.
bad. That
Obviously,
was
all
the
the
reason.
Maleficent was
Well,
bad, but that wasn't really a remake. That was just them making Maleficent the good guy.
also I think the
Yeah.
other thing for the Jungle Book, there was I wasn't around a whole bunch of people saying or online hearing, oh, they're doing this remake, live action remake, it's gonna be horrible or something like that. Not that.
No. I assume there's no point to seeing it because like 9 times out of 10 it's just rehashing the original film, but slightly worse.
Yeah.
I would have liked Beauty and the Beast. And I think I liked 70% of the Beauty and the Beast remake.
I don't think
But
I've
there's like a
actually ever.
30% of the movie that brought me down.
I don't think I've ever seen the original cartoon for Beauty and the Beast.
Oh, it was pretty good.
Oh yeah, I don't doubt it. I know I've heard this story before, but I guess it just came out when I was. I've always actually went and seen cartoons, but for some reason I didn't go see that one. Somebody hollering for somebody?
No, that's my dad. My dad in the background.
Uh,
Just doing dad things.
okay.
That's what dads do.
Yeah, I knew that once upon a time.
Uh, but, but like these, but when going to the theaters, I mostly just don't pick ranks anymore. I just watch. Well, if something, if I see a trailer for a movie that looks that what concept that looks interesting, I just go watch that. Uh, it hasn't always played out very well. I remember when I was 16, I went to go see Mortal Engines, and that was awful. Yeah, so like the worst movie I've ever seen in theaters. Least fun theater experience ever.
Yeah,
No, no,
I've had
I'm
a
not
few.
sure if I told you about that before.
I don't think so, but usually I'm going to move. I don't usually go to see a movie that I'm not interested in from the trailer myself either. Probably, maybe it's just easier to pique my interest in yours. But I have I seen
Like
have I seen some bad movies because of it? Sure, but
Mortal Engines. That had Peter Jackson as producer. It was really bad. Yeah, it was this bland, one of the most bland movies ever.
yeah,
And most people agree. By the way, that movie flopped. That movie had that movie was that apparently an adaptation of a book, post-apocalyptic book, but I heard they changed a lot. I hadn't read the original book. But that was
yeah,
like that they had, but that was like but the story premise of the movie sounds interesting on paper. It's a post-apocalyptic future where you got a bunch of cities on wheels, like giant
yeah,
cities on wheels, like
Yeah.
rolling around the
yeah,
desert
yeah.
after some kind of nuclear war.
We're
But
familiar with Mortal Engines.
yes,
but the reason why that movie sucked was because it was just rehashing the cliches of Star Wars. but and then filtering it, and then just filtering it through a post-apocalyptic setting, like it's just, like it's and just doing a New Hope basically, but not as good.
Well,
But
I heard also the reason it sucked is they went very off book. Maybe as we sort of.
not only did he go off book, it's just a New Hope. The plot of the movie is just a New Hope, and the Empire Strikes Back fused together, and then wearing the skin of the book
Yeah, well,
apparently.
you want to know something? So what if it's a New Hope? Like New Hope was a good movie. So if they can do
No,
it,
it was bad. A bad version of a New Hope. Just imagine that in your mind. Just the same plot beats as New Hope and then Empire Strikes Back kind of fused together.
yeah,
Well,
And
also,
wearing the skin of.
you have to understand, if Rick watched this movie, he probably would not dislike it as much as you did.
yeah,
Like, there's a
hey,
very realistic, just thought to jump to. Rick probably wouldn't dislike it as much as you did.
yeah, that's true because I don't judge. Not judge might be a wrong word, but
You're not as critical.
yeah, yeah. There's a lot of movies, like there's a lot of superhero movies, like I go see and it's like, oh, this is nothing like the comic books. If you divorce it from the
I
comics,
mean,
it
I
would not
watched
be
the
good.
first Venom movie in theaters. I thought it was okay. It was fine in the same kind
Yeah,
of way as like a Fast and Furious movie is fine.
yeah.
Like, uh,
It was fine, but it lacked something. And I think it lacked something because no connection to Spider-Man. We got
well,
Mastema7 here says, I blame Obama. Metal says, thanks, Obama. Rick, don't judge unless it's Dillard. Oh, yeah, for those that didn't hear, a couple weeks ago, I sent a thing of Happy Easter to him via Facebook, and he actually got back to me a week or so ago saying Happy Easter back. So we know Dillard's still
I
alive.
vaguely remember this.
oh, I forgot to mention. Yesterday was my 24th birthday.
Well, happy birthday.
Merry life ceremony.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, I think I mentioned that Discord and on Vomitorium Discord yesterday, but okay. So,
Help us as the cartels let him answer. Dillard is still in captivity.
oh wait, have you guys heard of Silo? I think that's what the show is called. I'm not exactly. Have you guys heard of the show called The Silo? I'm not. I forgot what it's called. I'm just remembering it now that this show exists. Speaking of post-apocalyptic stories,
Not
it's
off
like
the
a
top
TV
of my
show
head.
where no,
No.
it came out. I know it came out this decade, so I'm not. But I'm not. Actually, I haven't watched. I probably should watch that or something. At least try it first episode. But a lot of these TV
Have you
shows that
heard
you never.
of this amazing comic called Melvin? I think people should check that out.
Yes, but I don't have money to buy it, so like, I still saving my money because I'm tight on tight on currency right now still.
But if you do check it out,
But
though, don't look into the creator. I heard he's mean to people.
but I was want to say should I watch BHA? Is that would you recommend that metal?
Come again?
BHA is a brand new animal. I'm sorry, BNA. Sorry, BNA, brand
Oh,
new animal.
BNA. Yeah. I don't know if you'd like it. I haven't seen it. I've heard nothing but good things about it from the people who watch it.
Mm.
I haven't really seen many like negatives, but having not experienced it, I don't know enough about it to know if it wouldn't just like end up pissing you off or not. So
Yeah.
I don't know if I can recommend it.
Let's see. Massima said Xylo. Massima, are you?
Philo.
No, that's Xylo. We know who Xylo is here, don't we?
Oh yes, yes, yes.
I don't know.
I'm trying to remember the exact wording that was used for his powers. It was like harmonic alchemy, maybe. I'm trying to remember what
Yeah,
it
I think
was.
that was it. Harmonic alchemy.
You think it was that? Yeah.
I'm
He made an
confused.
appearance in the Buckler.
Oh, okay, okay. I still haven't read the Buckler.
Yeah.
I
Well,
probably don't. And even if I did, and even if I didn't get the money, I probably don't know where to buy it. Because that's the thing. These people don't. People in this community don't put their accounts on demand or something
Oh,
or anything like
unfortunately,
that.
see what you do is you have to ask Dillard directly, but it's hard to get in contact with him these days.
Exactly.
But Xylo is I had a contest on my channel way back to create a character with beginning with the letter X because I was going through my list of characters and I had pretty much had a character for every letter of the alphabet except for X.
Because X is never used as a first letter in a word. It would just be a Z.
No,
Well,
there's plenty of words,
yeah, xylophone and all
especially if you
that.
speak Chinese.
And then, but Xavier, the X Men, there's different
Mm.
things for that, you know. But my point, well, I'm not sure what my point is now. Oh, well, I had that contest, and a guy named Mallet, or that's what is, or
Username.
XJP, yeah, or JP, I'm not sure which
Yeah.
one he was using at the time. He created a character named Xylo.
Mm.
And there was a few others too. Maybe
Also, I think I asked this on Twitter, but no one, of course, no one responded because no one follows me on Twitter. But what are other anime manga series that only seem unique in the context of anime and manga? Now, like only seems unique when in the context of anime and manga, but outside of that is what outside that would be considered standard.
I don't even know if I want to entertain that question.
Like
I'm not sure.
take the inverse example. Ruby was considered unique at the time, but owned by the standards of American animation.
Yeah, because it was functionally basically just Naruto, but with lesbians.
Function just what you said?
Naruto, but with lesbians.
Oh no, Naruto. Okay, yeah, yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly. But like I can't I can name one obviously, but is there other anime and manga that only seems unique in the context of anime and manga?
I'm sure there's plenty. I just don't care.
And I don't know
It's just
enough
not an
to.
interesting conversation to me.
Sure, Alpha says he doesn't understand the question. Let's see. Mastema says the
Because I
greatest.
think what he kind of ends up meaning there is stuff that would be culturally unique because it's not necessarily uh, mainstream in Japanese culture, Ryan. In the same way that like he's using Ruby, where it uses so many Japanese tropes that it feels unique to like American culture at the time.
Yeah,
Exactly.
the thing is, I don't know
This is
enough
just not
about
something I focus on.
Well, there's that. Plus, I don't know enough about Japanese culture to know what's unique or not. Like they have manga for everything, pretty much out there.
For example, I mentioned this manga on here before. Like Frankenfran is basically just a gruesome Jimmy Neutron,
Yeah,
or
but
something along that lines.
it's a horror comic. So do they have horror comics
No,
over there? Yeah.
not really scary. It's not really scary. It's just supposed to be funny. So
Yes, but horror doesn't have to be scary necessarily. Horror could just be, gruesome stuff. And you say there's just cutting people open or something like that. You know, like
Uh,
you can
surgery.
make surgeries. You know, like she's making these mutated people or whatever based on this stuff. I'm forgetting, but you know, like you don't necessarily need
Well, I think if
horror.
we're taking the fear out of horror, we're watering down the genre of horror.
I
Yeah.
know, because it's not supposed to be scary. It's supposed to be funny primarily.
Okay.
Well,
Well,
you could say
You
like
have.
maybe horror themed,
yeah.
right? Like
Like
as just an adjective and not a genre.
Mm,
okay.
yeah.
There's probably better examples, but I'm thinking the old cartoon. Well, old now somewhat. Mummies Alive. You know, it's about
Yeah, I
mummies.
would not
Mummies.
qualify that a horror.
Yeah,
I
but
would not qualify. Yeah, I would not qualify that for.
yeah, but my point is, mummies are normally horror esque things, right?
Well, well,
Well, they could be. They could
ye-
be fantasy.
well,
Well, of course,
it
horror can
could
be
be. It was
fantasy as well.
only the original 1930s film, really, because outside of that, we got like the Indiana Jones knockoffs from the 90s. What's his name? Brandon something.
Oh, Brendan Fraser.
Oh yeah, Brandon Fraser. That was just Indiana Jones. It wasn't horror, so it was
Yeah,
just
it was
Indiana
action
Jones.
adventure. It was like a classic action adventure movie.
Uh, no, as far as I know, Mummies Alive is not Canadian. I think it was just a cartoon that came out in the '90s or early thousands.
I think it was trying to copy off Gargoyles. It was in the wake of Gargoyles, but both mummies.
Yeah, well, it was kind of just like a knockoff of how everything was just Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Mm.
Yeah.
Yeah, a team of something weird. A team of
Even
dinosaurs, team of
Gargoyles,
sharks.
in
Gargoyles
itself, is
was
kind of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, but with statues that come alive.
Okay.
exactly.
Let's see. Massima says a mummy cartoon, yes. Alpha says the voice actors were Canadian. Okay, so I guess it's partly Canadian. Says Ocean Group.
Ocean Group. I love Ocean Group.
And
They're
then
some of my favorite.
Alpha had asked me, says, you don't know enough about Japanese culture, then why do you have a show called Manga Monday, Cross? Because I'm drawing
Because he's
manga,
learning.
learning, and I'm drawing manga characters or anime characters. You know, right
There's
now,
never any fault with deciding to learn. He's branching out.
yeah. And I'm trying to draw in that crowd, too. Not that a lot of people here, well, Metal is, but he was already here. Masma says, "Oh, a '90s. I didn't own a TV in the '90s. Let me see when exactly it came out. Mummies Alive.
No, I
Because
literally just had it
the
up.
reason why I'm asking, but they're asking for an anime that seems
97.
an
'97.
anime that's only okay, or a manga that's only unique in the context of Japan. Because I'm tired of seeing a lot of these rom coms and all these other just boring stuff that I just get bored by very quickly. So I'm like, is there something more unique than this?
I
Yeah,
think
Because
for
like
it,
this.
it doesn't matter.
because a lot of these animes don't even feel like somebody was passionate about it. It feels corporate. Like Two Love Rule
The
doesn't feel
problem
like
is,
an
like,
act
I don't get that feeling from most stuff that I end up reading.
Two Love Rule doesn't feel like someone was generally passionate about an idea or anything like that.
Well,
He
that
just
that is
wanted to
the hottest take that you've come up with.
it just feels like the creator wanted to get money from teenage boys, so he just made this manga. Uh,
Yeah, you clearly don't understand the first thing about it.
it doesn't feel like he was actually passionate about anything. He
You
just
also
want a
don't
quick
know
buck.
about the controversies around it, even in Japan at the time, and how much they fought with Tulabru. That actually was the artist's passion project.
Yeah, wait, what? I'm confused.
Like, that was the exact story that mangaka wanted to make. And even at the time, parents complained about it. I've brought this up before.
I
Every
wasn't
time
talking
you
about the
bring up
I wasn't
forever.
talking about the content. I'm talking about it doesn't feel like he that like the creator actually was actually passionate about telling the story. Just that he just wanted to make something for a quick buck. I wasn't
Yeah,
even
and I'm
talking about
telling
the
you that that's
content so
wrong, though, because that's not what was behind it.
much.
Yeah, and even Alpha brings up too, like most manga are personal projects because manga, even when you are published under a big company, is self-owned. Like the company owns it, but you also have joint rights with them, and they can't do things with it without your permission, or if you pass away, your estate's permission.
If you don't have an estate.
Well, your estate would literally be just whatever family connection.
Yeah, I know. I'm just
Yeah,
teasing.
even if it
Legal
has to
Well,
go to
paperwork.
like a
if
second
these people
cousin.
if these people are really passionate, why come I don't see more diverse executions out there other than just
Because that's the stuff
un,
they want to write.
Because they have a different writing style than you.
They have different
no
concerns
no
than
no
you.
no they only have that different writing styles from each other. That's kind of the issue.
Yeah, and let's see, it's Japan, so they're completely different culture for.
Like for example, a lot of Familiar Zero legit feels like Rumiko Takahashi wrote it, even though it wasn't by Rumiko Takahashi. It's written by somebody else.
Well, I
A
mean,
lot of it feels
Rumiko Takahashi is one of the most influential mangaka of our time. Like, she's going to be inspiring to influence a lot of people. Like, to put into an example of how influential she is, deciding to write a story like Rumiko Takahashi would be like somebody in the West deciding, I'm going to use the Marvel method for writing my comic.
Yeah, because they watched How to Write the Marvel Way, or read How to Write the Marvel Way, if that's even a thing. Like unfortunately, a lot of my stuff is cartoony looking, but I was inspired by Marvel and DC. That's why, you know, I do comics.
Same reason a lot of people write like Toriyama. Not necessarily as well as him because they aren't Toriyama, they're not in his head, but he has influenced how they write. And before them, actually, both of these creators were influenced by Tezuka.
Let's see. Mastama says, I don't know manga or anime. I saw Rick live and jumped in. Don't know Japanese culture, but
Fair
I
and
did.
based.
He says, I don't know Japanese culture, but I did hear Kawasaki ninjas had recalls for engine seizures. Of course, those are bikes, motorcycles to be more precise.
Oh, yeah, yeah. They're great too.
now, one criticism I had towards Demon Slayer that the story from how it's set up does not feel natural how it progresses because the first thing that like he after his family gets killed by Mozan Kabuski, I forgot how his last name's pronounced. Uh, the Tanjiro spends 2 years training to become a demon slayer to fight to become part of this demon slayer corps to fight demons. I'm like, why not just try hunt down Mozan immediately? I'm confused.
Because
This doesn't
that
make any. This
is
doesn't make any
not
sense.
how the genre would work.
Well, and why
That's
not?
how natural storytelling. That's how natural storytelling would work. That's my first like. Why not
Well,
try hunt down the guy immediately?
because maybe you can't take him on and you need some training
No,
before you.
but he wouldn't know. The main character wouldn't know that. Why is he? Why is he?
Well,
Why is he?
this is
Why is
actually a
he?
weird thing to overcome. That's not how natural storytelling could work. there are tons of different ways to tell a story, and a lot of them are going to be culturally or, in the case, genre dependent, right? Because what
Yeah,
you have
because
to
it
do is you have
feels
to fill
forced.
the expectations of your audience.
Because it felt forced when I was watching it. Like so I guess well Nesco's gonna sleep for 2 years while he's training. Just doesn't make any damn sense. This is yeah this from a narrative standpoint, this makes no sense at all. Why not have them try to encounter Mozon first? He kicks their asses, but then the Demon Slayer Slayer corpse come in and they try to train him
Well,
or something like
I know nothing about this thing that you're talking about, but most likely he killed or took on whoever this person's parent or whatever took on
Tanjiro.
Tanjiro. You know, they it got killed. Tanjiro's parents or dad got killed by
His parents and
somebody.
his siblings. Most of his
So,
siblings. His parents and most of
yeah.
his siblings got killed except for Nezuko, who got
So
turned into a demon.
this guy, one guy, takes all these people on and kills them. So automatically, I would assume he's way more skilled than me. I need to get some skill before I go take him on.
No. What I didn't get is why he let the trail get cold. Like why I don't understand. He let the trail get cold so he can join this Demon Slayer Corps that he didn't even knew existed until just today. They did. It didn't make any sense to me when I was watching it when I first saw that.
And it's fine if it doesn't make sense to you.
Yeah,
You could just choose not to watch it.
yeah, or not to think about it.
I watched the whole first season of that when it came. I hadn't watched anything more than that since then because I didn't
Yeah.
care. I didn't like
Well,
any of the episodes really.
well, that's fine. Don't watch anymore. Don't worry about it. Leave it out of your mind. Let it leave your
Now,
mind.
what's what's your thoughts on my taste in storytelling? It's like it's just
I
In
can't.
general,
what does this feel like? What?
well, it's for the most part, it feels like somebody who just doesn't have enough experience in the art of storytelling. But it also often sounds like somebody who doesn't understand the thing they're talking about. Like, not necessarily that you're talking about, because like you definitely understand your own emotions about it, but it often doesn't sound like you understand what you saw. If that makes sense.
But also,
You know, like
the
kind of like the
how the
perspective
story.
where it says that it sounds like two people watch two entirely different movies when they watch the same thing.
Because the thing about Demon Slayer, I just didn't like any of the characters. I didn't grow attached to the main character and the relationship between him and his sister because his sister doesn't do anything.
Well,
She just stays in the backpack all
And
the time.
that's fine. You don't, you know, if that's an okay reason to not engage in something. It's like I just don't like any of the people. You know, like
yeah.
that's fine.
You know what? That happens to all sort. You know, people read Batman and that happens. People read Superman and that happens. You know what happens after that? They don't read Superman. They don't read Batman. They have nothing to do with Batman or Superman. Or it goes with Spider-Man. All these other characters that even the ones that you like, people will read it or watch it and say, "No, thank you. Doesn't do anything for me."
No,
And then they
no,
just
no.
they go on
And
with
then
their
not only
lives.
that, the story arcs also aren't compelling because we don't really get to know the main character never really develops any kind of relationship with the antagonist he's fighting. Because they die immediately as they introduce.
That's not
So
the only thing that makes a story compelling. It might be to you. That might be the only thing that compels you. But that's not the only thing that compels people when they're watching or reading a story.
mm.
In fact, you know, like, well, I'm not sure all from the manga, but you know, with superheroes, most of the time, the villain should have nothing to do with
No. I'm not talking about them having a pre-existing relationship. I mean developing an actual relationship, some kind of emotional connection to the villain later on as they meet each other. Like
yeah.
you
Yeah,
never,
Well,
he
that's
never.
always necessary.
except for the fact
Yeah,
that this guy killed my dad, my family. I don't care anything about. I wouldn't care anything about developing any sort of relationship except for hating him.
no,
No,
but
he
they
means
don't.
like he doesn't mean like a relationship like a friend or whatever. He's talking about like say a philosophical
Yeah, like
relationship.
he's
There has
talking
to be
about
some
like
type of
Batman Joker.
Because what made part of what made Full Metal Alchemist good was how the villains relate to the heroes and how like especially like Scar. Oh yeah, Scar like then the late Scar and his emotional baggage because he killed Winwy's parents uh during his rage when he first awoke. And then later when he learns about what this what the I forgot what the country name is, what the Mesrian government did to to this violence, like that's
yeah,
actually
but
Scar is
that
actually a
also
pretty
works with
good
Scar
character.
too because Scar's not inherently a villain. I mean, he's
No,
a bad
I
person. He's a
know.
villain in that case, but he's not like the antagonist.
He's not the antagonist, no, but he is a Scar is a compelling character. One of the most compelling characters in that show.
Yeah, for
Uh,
you, anyways.
Yeah, I mean, he isn't to me, but I could see that. I mean, he is
mm, uh,
compelling. I don't think I would make him one of the most compelling characters on my list, but that's going to
mm,
vary. Like your mileage is going to vary
mm,
from person to person watching it.
yeah, I
Yeah,
expect, yeah.
yeah.
I was actually somewhat, even though he's supposed to feel bad for him, I was actually overjoyed when Mustang was torturing Envy, for example, near the
I
climax.
think most people were fine with that. Like,
Yeah.
Because Envy and Wrath for the villains, you kind of develop the most vitriol towards as the show goes on.
yeah,
Exactly. I did want to see Al somehow get his human body back. Like, and you're supposed to want to.
yeah.
Uh,
The thing is, like, it depends on the type of story, but in general, you're kind of supposed to be forming a personal relationship with the characters. Like that's actually where the term parasocial relationship comes from. Before it started being put onto media figures, it was talking about like characters in books and stuff like that. Now, if you don't form some type of positive or negative parasocial relationship with the character, it might be hard for you to care about a story. Right? It's one of the reasons why when most people tell you when it comes to writing, there, there there's no point in saying a character focused story because all stories are character focused stories.
mm,
And if you're not doing that, well, you're probably not keeping anybody's attention.
Yeah.
But also because of that, mileage is going to vary a lot because different people care about different things.
Yeah.
It's one of the reasons why we do genres, right? Because genres are just another way of saying cultures. These are cultures of stories. So some people care about different cultures and the type of characters you might see in different cultures more than they care about others. Some people don't care about some at all.
mm.
Yeah.
But like watching anime is kind of hard. Like I just don't like uh, it's pretty hard because like I just most times I just don't care about the characters a lot.
Then if you don't like it, don't watch it.
Yeah, we can only
Don't.
Well,
tell you to not watch it so many times, Fizz.
mm,
Yeah.
the,
Like
the,
if
yeah.
I find a hard, like I've talked about this before, and I don't want to really bring it up. I found Riverdale hard to watch. You know what I didn't do? I didn't watch it. You know when I bring it up? Just in times like this, or an example of something bad or done wrong. Other than that, I don't go on and say, "Oh, you know what? You know what show I really, really hate?" Just all of a sudden to people, Riverdale.
I mean, so here's where I sympathize here, and it's just something you have to personally deal with. Fizz exists in a space, right, online, and also
Sure.
just in the world because it's becoming more popular, where you can't not be bombarded with talk about anime,
Oh yeah.
right? Like that, it is just the stuff that's popular, is the culture right now. So it's really hard to maybe even necessarily engage in conversations with people if you don't like the same thing that everybody's talking about. That is a very sympathetic, uh, like
Yeah,
situation to be in.
I get it. Like I grew up around a lot of people that like sports and cars. You know what? I don't like sports and cars.
Yeah.
Well, I don't mind baseball a little bit or whatever, but like I wasn't one to, sit down and watch every football game out there. When they're on or baseball game or whatever. It was just not my thing.
We talk
So
about like the everybody's favorite hockey player or something like that.
So
Mm,
I I,
mm,
I,
but
I get that. I guess I sort of get that. Everybody's talking about anime, but I find the people that like engage in the stuff that I engaged in, which wasn't a lot of guys. Oh man.
because I don't because the thing about anime is I don't like most of the characters in these shows. I don't find nor do I find nudity funny. Like in and of itself, I don't find nudity funny, and and I don't care about these flash fight scenes. So
I actually kind of resent the fact that manga and anime have become more popular, even though I really like it. But it's because of the case of I've always liked it, right? Ever since I was a little kid, I immediately grew attached to like the storytelling. I love the way they explored characters over in Japan compared to at least how characters were being explored here at that time, right? Um, Alpha says he finds nudity hilarious in context. I do too. But I like the way they explored stories in a way that like we just really weren't exploring stories over here, and it's gotten more and more so that we're not really exploring stories that way and characters here. Um, Not that I don't like stories from here, but most of the ones I like are older at this point. Um,
Yeah. And Alpha, as for do I like hockey? Yeah, it's all right. I was never really into sports. I've been to a few hockey games, but I don't really ever watch it on TV.
and Alpha also says fighting is one of the things that he finds most entertaining. And I've always been into martial arts ever since I was a very little kid. So a
Yeah,
lot of like series that focus on the way that they're going to handle their fighting is through martial arts is very appealing to me personally. Um, I am not their target audience, but I am one of those overlapping demographics that already like their stuff.
yeah,
yeah,
yeah. Like
But
I
now
watch.
I have to deal with a bunch of people who are only into it because it's popular. There's some people that are definitely genuine because a lot of the entertainment here is lackluster. Um, but then there's a lot of people that are just doing it not just because the entertainment is lackluster, but because other people are. And those are also the people we see complaining about the stuff too. And I kind of almost missed when those people were bullying people for liking manga and anime instead.
yeah, I can only care about fight scenes if I actually care about the characters. But but this like it's why again like I stated before, it's why I find most magic girl fights boring because I don't care about any of the characters fight. So one is not even the character.
Yeah. Well, oh, like you said, I
And
get the
that is
fact.
definitely a difference, right? Because like I cannot care about a character at all, right? I cannot even care about a story, but I'll watch a clip of a good fight scene. And I think that's just, me being into fighting and martial arts and stuff. Like I don't really watch Naruto, but I will go back and watch like the Shunin exam fight between Gara and Rock Lee because that's just a great fight.
Let's see. Alpha says you better like hockey, or you're losing your citizenship. I'm sure there's lots of Canadians that aren't into hockey. And he says Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles is where all my interests converge. Cool. Yeah.
It's what mutants and ninjas.
Pardon?
Kind of muffled.
Mutants and ninjas.
Yeah, I guess so. And teenagers.
Yeah, there's a lot of fighting. There's a lot of fighting in Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
And turtles.
It's
Turtles.
majority fighting.
But they have a hockey. Well, they have the guy dressed up.
Dude, Casey Jones. I
Yeah.
love Casey Jones is my favorite Turtles character.
A lot of
I've always
anamorphic
liked Casey Jones.
Characters. In that
Well, because
obviously.
it's a sci-fi fantasy, right? Like it's
Yeah.
got elements of all of that in there.
A big-breasted woman.
Yeah, yeah. Hot redheads.
Yeah.
There's lots of things to love about Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
I mean, I've seen two of the cartoons. I ain't seen the original '80s. I never read Teenage Mutant
I love
Yeah.
the comics.
Yeah.
I think the comics are the best form of Turtles. I really
Yeah,
liked the movies,
you
but the
mean
movie
which
is what got
comics?
me into wanting the comic. The
Ninja. Yeah, I
original,
seen the first movie.
Yeah.
the original comic that the movie was based on.
Yeah, that's what I was just thinking, man. I was just gonna make sure because,
Yeah, yeah.
of course,
I've read some good ones later on.
Archie did some, so they were more after the '80s/90s cartoon. So
I don't care as much for the stuff like IDW's been doing with it, but I did like the Boom Turtles comics.
yeah. He said, Alpha says that, yeah, says that's why I like Marvel versus Capcom mutants with X-Men and fighters and Capcom. I grew up with the Archie Ninja Turtle comics, says Alpha. Yeah, so, like, if he's around a bunch of, in some ways I say, if he's around a bunch of people that are engaging in manga and he doesn't really like the manga stuff,
No,
not,
well,
It's unavoidable.
well,
Like you're just going
but the
to.
manga I like is just different from most other people. That's kind of the issue. The manga and anime I like is just very different than the vast majority of most people, or what most people engage with.
yeah, well, you know what? That's all right, And focus on, focus, I guess, more on that than the stuff that you don't like. Because, although I've been introduced to various mangas through because of this channel, and like I think I liked what's the name of it? My Hero Academia. JoJo was neither here nor there. Cowboy
Yeah, JoJo
Bebop.
was like a that one was a coin flip, I think, with you, and it turned out to flip tails because there's like a lot of superhero elements and stuff in it, but it lives up to its name of being very bizarre.
Yeah, and although it captured my attention a little bit, but not completely, it was especially. I think every season the characters all change, so you got to get used to a whole bunch of new characters. So I wasn't.
Yeah,
I mean, kind of like American Horror Story. You just gotta get used to new characters every season.
there are
Yeah,
some characters that come back though, like the main character of the second one, Battle Tendency, is Joseph Joestar, and he's the grandfather
in the third
of
one.
Jotaro and Stardust Crusader. Yeah, because they time jump to that, and he also shows up briefly in the fourth one because Jotaro shows back up.
Yeah,
Nah,
but
but I
see,
know
even
I've never watched JoJo's Bizarre Adventure because I don't have much of interest
yeah,
in that
well,
type of battle show anymore.
yeah, well,
I mean, I saw Dragon Ball Z when I was a kid, so
yeah.
I don't
I
have.
got into it because a few of my viewers were saying about it, and I was doing some reaction videos to it. Like I said, but I haven't watched My Hero Academia in a while, but I'd like to go back and catch up on that. Where with what's the name of JoJo? Eh. I even started watching. I think Full Metal Alchemist, the first one. I wouldn't mind going back and catching up on that. But the JoJo, but even with the third one, where you say the one guy comes back as a grandfather, although he's the same guy, he's a different guy because he's so much older, right?
Yeah, yeah, like he's almost senile at that point. Like, he has to be pushed around in like a wheelchair.
Yeah.
In in the last time that he shows up. Um, and actually, yeah, the first time he shows back up as his grandfather, he is kind of still almost a different person to a degree. He they took away his like predictive ability, and that one kind of sits wrong, or I think they Araki specifically because he's the one who makes the sole decisions on all that. Took away Joseph's like next you'll say because like Joseph was basically a genius in battle tendency, like he
Yeah.
knew ahead of time from just reading his opponent exactly what they would do to the point that he could even predict like the words that were going to come out of their mouth, and that kind of like disappears in Stardust Crusaders.
Yeah.
The rest of his goofiness is still there. Like he cheats a lot because Joseph's always been a cheater. Heck, he even cheated on his own wife. He cheated at everything. But that's like not the coolest part of him. And it was
Yeah.
sad that they took the coolest part away.
Yeah. So like I said, it was all right, but it like you said, it was a bit bizarre, and I think because the characters changed every season, just as you're getting used to something, it
Yeah, Alpha also brings up Stardust changed the power set from Hamon to Stans. So like you're getting used to a completely different like style of combat and stuff. Because
yeah,
Because instead of martial arts,
basically
because hormones
Castlevania.
basically just cheat. But hormones, but instead of martial arts, you get like people are seeing their ghosts, spectral spirits, personas out to fight each other.
Yeah, it does almost feel like a different series. Um, it
Also,
goes
apparently it
from
stops being about vampires at a certain point.
yeah, like the because you're fighting other stand users. It's not that
Mm.
the vampires have gone away up until the world gets reset in Steel Ball Run. Well, technically, it was the end of Stone Ocean where the world gets reset, and then he does a completely different continuity with Steel Ball Run. But the first series is basically Castlevania.
yeah,
But with martial arts. Like that's basically all it is. It's just Castlevania. The second one is how can we raise it up a notch, right?
yeah,
And then the third one, if we didn't get this either, we probably wouldn't have the next series. It's Persona before Persona, right? Because Persona was influenced by specifically part four of JoJo's Bizarre Adventures, with
yeah.
that isolated town story with the serial killer.
So, but my point to bringing all that up is, like I've gotten, like I've some of them I've watched, some of them I haven't. I think we even watched one on my thing that got localized, but it was totally different because the people didn't
Oh, you're
care
talking
about
about
it.
Ghost Stories?
Yeah, so I've
Ghost
watched.
Stories is infamous.
Yeah, I've watched a bunch of
Mm.
manga and anime because of the channel, and like I realized I had watched a few in my youth, like Astro Boy, G Force,
Things that you
or
didn't
Crouching.
realize were.
Yeah, Robotech. I didn't really realize they were animes or manga or whatever. You know, and that's fine. Like I don't mind it. I'm learning a lot more. Maybe I'll watch some. Like I'm not watching a lot of crap stuff anyways. Like but on my Roku, right, I got what's the name of it? Not Pluto, Tubi, and I've got a bunch of various things saved on there. Uh, animes that I want to watch, but I think they're way lesser known ones. I mentioned a couple of them here before. Anyways, Alpha says it almost feels like a different manga. Stands are personified telekinesis.
Yeah, it's kind of like a reflection of their soul
Yeah,
in a way. Um, More of like the mind concept of the soul, not necessarily like the spirit, but it plays with both of those.
yeah. He says
Mm.
only other stand users can see them. And then he says it's odd how he linked all those chapters together under JoJo. Most people would have just made each their own story. And he says, not under the same title. We live in an age where you have anime at the tips of your fingers. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, so like I think that's also one of the things that attracts me to JoJo's is the fact that it's kind of a bunch of different stories that are under the same title. Because the thing that really connects JoJo, no matter what it does, is the Joestar family line. Even when he resets, it's following basically the Joestar family line, but in a different continuity. Right, so it's very much like the Belmonts in Castlevania. Or before I
Mhm.
knew about JoJo's, because I was pretty late to it, it was hard to get a hold of it until I was in high school. So it was hard to even find out about it. Um, but before I knew about it, I was already writing a story that I now call A Chronicle of a Planet Called Mira, or A Chronicling of a Planet Called Mira. And the main story actually follows a family line throughout the different historical events of this world. So it's like the fact that there was something I was trying to do myself, I very easily jumped onto. I'm like, yes, I love this idea.
Alpha says, I remember going to the Hulin Mall in Fort Worth and going to Suncoast Video and buying $45 DVDs of Trigun.
Yeah, it used to be so hard to get a hold of things. That's not where we used to go, but that's because I lived more on the Dallas side of DFW at the time. Uh, right in the middle, there's in Grand Prairie. There's a marketplace. It's an Asian mall, and specifically, there's the grocery store. That's the Hong Kong market there. And you used to be able to at one of the kiosks way back in the day, be able to get not just like international movies, but you'd be able to get like even bootlegs of things that weren't properly localized, where people would use like two different VCRs to encode their subs onto stuff. And I wasn't particularly the one buying them because I was just like an elementary schooler. But my older cousin, who had like 12 years on me, was the one buying, and sometimes I go on trips with him.
Yeah. Anyways, this has been a good discussion that we've been getting into. But it is 12 minutes after 9.
Yeah, yeah.
Mm.
So, I'll ask Fitzchozo, although I know the answer. Anything you'd like to promote, Fitzchozo?
No.
Okay. Metal, anything you'd like to promote?
Yeah, yeah. Let me grab the link. Let me grab the link. You go over to xdynamuschaos.com because I am probably getting that page up today. I'm almost done with it. It should be up today. So new page after like 6 months. If I am so sporadic about the upload. If you ever want to just be notified, you can sign up to the website. You can subscribe to it. There is a place on the site where you can sign up, and you will just get new posts directly to your email like a newsletter. Isn't that great? You should totally do that. But yeah, that's what I'm advertising.
Cool, cool, cool. Well, thank you, Fitzchozo, coming on. Thank you, Metal, for coming on. Thanks, everybody in the chat, for coming by. It's been great having everybody here. We will be back tomorrow night when we'll be mashing up something Mario and He-Man. I have no idea what. Should I go still villain, a guy villain this time? Or should I
Ooh,
go a female heroine?
don't know. Don't know. Maybe surprise them.
Yeah, maybe. Or let me know in the chat what you guys think. So we'll catch y'all later. Or not the chat, the comments. Sorry. Bye for now. God bless. Love you all. Have a great night, day. More manga, more anime. Next week. Next week, Alpha. Bye for now. God bless. Love you all.